I'm going to talk to you about the buff. I used this on my Greenland expedition. A traditional standard buff is a really important piece of kit for me for multiple reasons. So you can see here, I mean, it's just a standard thin buff. It's not the ultra polar. I did have that too, but this is what I use most of the time. This is a very versatile piece of kit because if I can get it over my head, it was really good to protect my neck, and then if the wind came up really quick, I could just pull it up so I would have my goggles on, you know, or my glacier glasses, and they would function pretty well. But one of the challenges is I get the fog, so I always had to kind of just adjust it, put it over my head, and kind of do this thing, and then for my nose, I would have my headband around it, so I look pretty crazy, but it actually works quite well. So I'd kind of do this, and that way I could adjust, protect my nose, protect my mouth, and I've done this on climbing. So the standard buff is really useful. Now when it was really bad, I could do the I don't know, whatever you call the women who kind of wear the cloth over their head and kind of cover their face like this. It actually worked pretty well. The problem is I've seen some people do this, but on me, I must have a pretty big head because right here it kind of chokes me out, so I have to make kind of an adjustment. And then I actually get really good protection, so when it's windy or super sunny, I can actually put this thing out, and granted it chokes me out a bit, so that's a little bit irritating, but it covers my neck really well, and this serves pretty good. Now I also use my buff like a traditional one, like Survivor Man. I like being a Les Stroud here, and I tighten that thing back. It allows me to protect my ears, protect the top of my dome so I don't burn my head, and protect my neck. I can pull that down pretty well. It's not perfect, but it does a very good job between that and my hat. And the nice thing about the buff is the fabric is very thin, so I don't overheat. So it's easy to go climbing, hiking, or whatever else I need to do. The downside of the buff is these things retain smell. Oh, I've washed this like 3 different times and still not exactly downy fresh. So one of the big things is it might just be listed as a disposable item, but what I've learned is that as I go through and I just keep this in the laundry for 4 or 5 different cycles, and eventually it gets the smell out. Also, a buff can be useful for cleaning optics. There's a lot of uses for this thing that I've seen people do. I mean, even putting it on their head, because you can get it wet, put it around your neck and do that. So definitely a highly recommended piece of kit. These are ultra light. Let me weigh this on the handy dandy scale, and I'll show you just how light this really is. It's pretty amazing how light these things are. All right, scale, okay, hold. So my particular buff weighs 1.6 ounces or 46 grams. Not too shabby. For an important piece of kit that allows me sun protection, warmth, wind protection, cooling, and an emergency cleaning sort of item, the buff is highly recommended. Check out links below in the description, and also check out my entire equipment list at aaronlinsdow.com/Greenland, where you too can learn about all the gear that I took on my expedition, so you might be able to take this gear out and enjoy it in your outdoor pursuits, whether it's winter or summer. Thank you very much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel so you can get more info like this.